A freshman who hits fourth is off to a wonderful start. She's 5 out of 10 and hitting .500 so far in this tournament. She's one to watch, and the Tigers certainly will focus on her defensively. Lots of sunshine, not a cloud in the sky right now, an azure sky. As we start at mid-morning here in Baton Rouge, a little brunch at the ballpark. Perhaps your day will finish with football. We're so glad that it's starting with softball.
Beautiful day. Little nippy, but it's doable.
Leading off from the top of the first inning for Illinois, Avery Steiner.
Both of these teams 3-1 in the tournament. LSU was upset in the final game yesterday against Central Arkansas, and the Bears will be the opponent for the Tigers in the game following this one, and it will be the conclusion of the Tiger Classic. So here we go. Steiner is first pitch swinging and rams it into right center field, and this one will not stop until it gets to the wall. Steiner, on the first pitch she sees, hits a rope to right center field for a two-base hit.
Illinois State proved that yesterday. They're going to come out swinging, and first pitch swinger here.
That's her fourth hit of the tournament, her first double, her first extra base hit. And Stevie Meade will follow the senior to the plate. Meade is a freshman who is 3 for 12. Allie Newland could not go up quickly enough to stop that one, and a runner immediately takes third.
And there's that rise ball again that you just have to catch the top of. Kind of a bugaboo for the LSU Tigers in the catching position here. You got to catch the ball first.
That'll be a passed ball. And a runner at third with nobody out. So 2 pitches into the game, the Illini have a runner at third base.
And didn't have to give up an out to get that runner to second or third.
Kaylee Powell is on deck. She's had 4 hits in the tournament. There is a crosswind blowing from left to right, and sometimes it'll take a little right turn and blow more toward the infield.
And there's that drop ball that she took something off of and changed speeds. This is quite a jam here with nobody out there at third.
She struck out 6 in 7 1/3 innings of work so far in this tournament, and only 1 walk.
And this is where her defense needs to be rock steady. She's going to induce a lot of ground balls.
She's looking for a strikeout here with a runner at third. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sunseri working to Stevie Meade. LSU and the Fighting Illini out of the Big Ten. She committed at the plate. That's a strikeout, and Sunseri disposes of 1 batter.
That's a first big out there.
Let's check LSU defensively. Savannah Stewart in left.
Kaylee Powell.
Briggs in center. Gutierrez is the right fielder. Coffey and Pleasance and Peterson and Clark are on the infield. And Newland is catching Sunseri.
And Newland's a newbie back there. Didn't catch that much behind the plate last year, but definitely a factor maybe this year. And
it's a position, especially defensively, that's wide open right now.
Absolutely. With the runner at third, with the drop ball pitcher, she's absolutely got to be a wall back there. Stop the ball first with the runner at third.
Steiner opened the game by ripping the first pitch into right center field for a double. She moved up on a pass ball. On a 3-2 pitch, Sunseri fanned Meade on a check swing. And now it's Kaylee Powell, the 3-hole hitter, who's 4 for 13 in the tournament with 3 doubles. She's also homered. All 4 of her hits have been extra base hits. How's that for a start? 3 doubles and a home run.
Well, that's who you'd want at the plate right there. Sunseri tried to go with a changeup there and kind of just got stuck in her hand.
Bella Loya is on deck. This will twist out of play on the left side.
You said the Tigers were upset last night. If they can get out of this inning with no runs scored, that would be an extreme uplift. Get that momentum going back in the right way.
Shelby Sunseri brings it home. It's hit on a hop back to the circle. Sunseri plucks it and then throws a quick strike over to first base for the second out.
Beauty of a drop ball pitcher in that situation. You get a rise ball pitcher there, they lift a fly ball to the outfield, you score, but nice to have a drop ball pitcher with a runner at third with no outs.
Now there's a runner at third with 2 outs.
Catcher for 18, Bella Loya.
But here's Loya, who is 5 for 10 and has driven in 2 runs. All of her hits have been singles. That's a little bit tight to Loya, who uses a slightly split grip, it appears. And no batting gloves, which is a bit rare these days.
And on a cold day. Beauty of a senior in the mound, too. In the circle, 5th year. Only senior on the team with no eligibility left. She gets it. She knows. She's been here. It's like having a coach out there.
Here's the 1-1 pitch with 2 outs and a runner at second. Off speed and off the mark. That was well disguised, but it was not a strike.
Good looking pitch, but you're right. It was too low. Infield gets to play back a little bit now. They don't have to gun down that runner at third.
Now it's 3-1 with Delaney Rummel on deck. The outfield is deep and straight away for Loya.
Might not be a bad loss here if she loses her. You pitching to a 500 hitter. Person on deck is hitting 154. But evens up the count here.
And it's the 3rd straight full count to an Illini hitter. Can Sunseri come all the way back? We'll find out on another pitch. Steiner doubled on the first pitch of the game and then moved up on the second pitch. That was a pass ball, and she now is perched at third with 2 outs. Here we go at 3-2. Lined into left field. That is down in fair territory for a base hit. And Loya continues her very effective hitting. That's her 6th hit of the tournament. She's 6 for 11, and that's her first extra base hit, and it came at a very good time.
All credit to Loya. We'll see where this pitch is. Can't really tell there, but you know, she worked it to a full count. Good piece of hitting there. Tip of your cap to Loya.
So the freshman, who has had a big start, is at second base with 2 outs, a double by Steiner and a 2-out double by Loya. And here is Delaney Rummel, who's 2 for 13 with an RBI. Pleasance will handle this one on the infield. The shortstop makes the catch, but the Illini take the lead on a double by Steiner and a 2-out RBI double by Loya. 1-0 Illinois.
Led by your LSU Tigers. Go!
Welcome back, everyone. The Illini have a 1-0 lead on a pair of doubles in the top of the first inning. And Sydney Sickles is in the circle for Illinois to try to protect this early advantage by the Fighting Illini.
Illini, they love to live in the low 60s, but rise curve is her pitch, so a lot of breaking balls we should see.
Here's the lineup for the Tigers. A bit of a change today. Danica Coffey is leading off. Briggs, who has been in the leadoff position, is now number 2. And Taylor Pleasance, who has only 1 base hit so far this year, has been moved to the 3 position. Of course, the Tigers with Clark and Sunseri.
4 home runs between the 2 of them already.
Actually 6.
Sorry. Remember, math's not my thing.
Sunseri and Clark in the middle of that LSU order have 11 RBI and 6 home runs between them.
Math and the vision starting to go too, so.
Coffey had a triple yesterday, and there aren't a lot of players in the league who could have reached third base easily on a ball she hit to right center field. She has,
my gosh,
really demonstrated some superior speed on the base paths.
I did not know she was that fast. She can run. She'd be a fantastic leadoff hitter with that speed.
1 ball, 2 strikes on the young infielder, Danica Coffey. Her native position defensively, at least last year, was second base, but she's been in the lineup at third base to open this season.
On base percentage at .500, so it's great for a leadoff hitter.
It is. 4 for 10.
There she goes again.
That's ripped into right. They'll hold her to a 1 base hit, but LSU opens the game with a base hit, as did Steiner for the Illini.
Now batting for the Tigers, center fielder number 8.
There you see the defense for the Illini. The outfield has some pretty good speed out there. That wind has shifted. It's now blowing right to left. It was left to right earlier.
Got a lot of options with Briggs up there because she handles the bat well.
She's had 5 base hits. She and Clark are the base hit leaders through the first 4 games.
And also can steal with that kind of speed at first now.
Briggs has driven in a couple of runs. Her base hits have been all singles, and Briggs beats what was not a play to first base. She was pumping those pinions and got to first base.
Perfect bunt, and Coffey was gone on the pitch, so there was no getting her. There was no getting Briggs. Like I said, she handles the bat so well. She can hit away, she can slap, and then she'll lay down a bunt for a hit there in a bunting situation.
So Coffey moves to second. Briggs is behind her. There are lightning bolts on the base paths. And here is Taylor Pleasance, who has had only 1 base hit so far this year.
Starting a little slow, but way too. And we're going to try to steal third, and we're going to. Oh, she could have gotten up. She'd have scored.
Now both runners took off. The third baseman, seeing Pleasance squared around, left the position at third. Everybody in motion here, and then the pitch was bobbled. So and LSU executes the double steal.
And here comes Tyra Perry. She's going to go out there and settle down her infielders. But yes, you're right. Pleasance is merely as a decoy trying to pull that third baseman up. The shortstop is on the run and has to take that throw. And consequently, you see a cluster.
And all players are in the circle.
If Coffey could have gotten up, she'd have scored.
So we've got an offensive gathering on the third base side, and we've got a defensive convention in the circle. And now the umpires will break it up. Craig Elmore is the base umpire. Chris Tahanika, who is from upstate New York, is the first base umpire. And Bobby DeMayo is at third. Well, here's the weather today. It's about 25 degrees or more cooler at the start of today's game than it was at the start of Friday's and Saturday's action. Winds out of the north at 9 miles an hour. Right now, 44 degrees.
These girls from Illinois probably think it's those balmy.
Well, the wind chill is 35 here.
Whoa. 35. Glad I'm in the press box.
How many coats did you bring?
Just one, but if I was still at third base, it would be every article of clothing that I owned.
Taylor Pleasance has an RBI opportunity. Her one base hit of the tournament did come at a good time. It was a double, and it drove in a couple of runs.
Too good not to hit. She just needs to. She will. It's a little bit of a rough start here.
1 for 13.
Now, I'm not sure what's going on because we've already had one conference by the Illini.
That's Bobby DeMayo, the umpire.
If he crossed that line, he'd have to pull his pitcher. Did we have an illegal pitch? No.
Whatever the palaver was about, it is over. I think maybe there was an illegal pitch. 2 balls and a strike.
Here we go. And so Lance, pitching coach, is out there asking what exactly did she do.
That off speed stayed high. 3-1 on Pleasance. First base is open. Sunseri is on deck. Three balls, 2 strikes. Runners at third and second, Coffey and Briggs. And that hits Sunseri.
That was a changeup that hit her.
So the bases are full for Shelby Sunseri. Let's look at this final pitch to Pleasance. It looked like it hit the elbow.
Yeah, it was a loud thud. You'd have thought it was the bat, but not the way the hitters are geared up now.
And the water is starting to boil around Sydney Sickles in the first inning.
She's in a world of hurt.
Very much high on the first delivery to Sunseri. She is 4 for 12 with a double and 3 home runs.
Maybe not who you wanted to load the bases up for.
That's a high strike.
And again, here we have a rise curve pitcher. Nobody out, bases loaded. Normally they induce fly balls. It's deep enough the Tigers will score. We'll try to go down on that one.
Let's go back and look at Shelby Sunseri's production so far in the tournament. Home run number 1, home run number 2. You could hang laundry on that second one, and there's home run number 3.
The third one might have been the cheapest one of all, but none of those first 2. Oh my. Ooh.
She was fooled into swinging.
But we've got an illegal pitch.
And another illegal pitch.
Foot is not staying down. That's what Blue is saying. Let's see here.
That's Chris Tahanika who makes this call.
Let's see. don't know if we can see that again.
Let's go back and look at this delivery.
Foot's got to stay on the rubber. Yeah, it's a hop right there.
It's clearly inched forward a couple of inches off that pitcher's plate before the delivery.
I've seen much worse, but it's something they don't like because we've gotten a call from 2 different Blues. And really, should be ball 4 because Sunseri swung at a ball over her head.
There's a strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Sunseri. Something has to break loose here. Bases loaded. A full count to Shelby Sunseri. Smashed into left field. 1 run scores. Here's the throw. Cut off on the infield. Sunseri delivers. And the Tigers get a pair out of it, but then a base running mistake costs them an out.
Pleasance is having a hard time so far. It was a good cutoff. Good cutoff here, and she just rounded the base a little bit too far. Got to be aware of that because you know you've got 2 speedsters in front of you, so Tarina's going to be sending them.
But the Tigers gain the lead on a vicious single to left field by Shelby Sunseri.
Tell you, so far Sunseri looks like the 2019 All-American that she was.
That's the 9th run driven in for Sunseri in this, her 5th game.
Just says herself, she just felt so many expectations, and last go around, just breathe. Looks like she's doing that so far.
4 of Georgia Clark's 5 base hits have been extra base hits, a double and 3 home runs. And she and Sunseri have gone back to back over the fence once in this tournament.
See the curveball there, missing.
Let's take a look at 3 big swings from Georgia Clark. There's 1. Number 2. And the 3rd one.
One of the strongest, if not the strongest, Tigers on the roster. I think it'll be a close tie between her and Sunseri.
They are different types of hitters. Sunseri has very little motion. It almost looks like she never completes a swing. Very, very rapid hip twirl to generate some torque, but not really striding into the ball.
No stride.
As opposed to Georgia Clark, who picks up that left leg and then uncoils everything with a great deal of power.
That high kick is her timing mechanism.
A liner to left field for a base hit. Runners advance 60 feet each. Sunseri had to stop at second. Georgia Clark continues her torrid hitting. And LSU with 4 base hits in the bottom of the first.
Girls are on fire. They're protecting each other.
Here's Allie Newland. Allie is 2 for 13. One of her hits was a double. She's got a run driven in.
Tigers already have 4 hits, and it's just the first inning.
Gutierrez is on deck. One ball, 1 strike on the LSU sophomore catcher, Allie Newland.
Number's 44, and the whole family wears it. It's pretty cool. She can play anywhere on the field except pitcher. And Lynn, do you remember her first at-bat as a Tiger? Grand Salami.
She is very good in the outfield. She is very good defensively at first base, and she has a very strong, accurate arm. Maybe some of the fans have forgotten that first swing base hit, but I promise you she hasn't, and never will.
How many people can ever say that? Her mom played college ball, and as I said, this is a family number. It's pretty cool.
Smashed into right field for a base hit. The runners can only advance one base. And LSU has come out tagging the softball here in the bottom of the first. Here's Raylene Gutierrez. Only had a couple of at-bats so far. And I bet the Tigers certainly welcome this offensive output in the bottom of the first inning after losing to Central Arkansas last night in the final game of the day, losing to that ASUN opponent formerly out of the Southland Conference, and then giving up a run in the top of the first to Illinois. But the Tigers already have 5 base hits here in the bottom of the first, and 4 of them have been very, very loud.
And the lefty heavy hitting Tigers. But you know, you play 56 games, you're going to lose some games.
Gutierrez making her second start.
Very good hitter in her own right.
She is.
Another utility player that can play a few positions. Very good lefty first baseman, good outfielder. Good to have a lefty in this position. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Coffey and Briggs have scored. Sunseri, Clark, and Newland have singled. The bases are loaded with 1 out.
This is 36 pitches already for Sickles. Oh, she's not out of the first inning.
Three balls, 2 strikes. That's been a common count in the first inning for both sides. This is the 4th 3-2 count for Sickles. 7 3-ball, 2-strike counts total so far in the first inning.
Of course, Sickles coming in had thrown 5 innings, had given up 6 hits, struck out 5.
And a couple of walks.
Good looking backdoor curve there. Took something off of that pitch.
So the Tigers fail to make contact with the bases loaded as Gutierrez goes down on strikes on a 3-2 pitch. That is a huge out for Sickles and the Illini.
Absolutely, because the game potentially could have really gotten out of hand here. Still can. But that would be really a win, because it started out as a disaster for the Illini.
Jordan Perkins at the plate. And 2 quick strikes to the junior, who's in the designated player role today. Savannah Stewart is in the on-deck circle.
Fisted that ball.
A looper right out at second base, caught by the second baseman Steiner for the out. The Tigers get 2, but they leave a lot of base runners. And after 1 inning of play, a lot of action, 2-1 LSU. After an action-packed first inning, a lot of base hits, 7 total. LSU carries a 2-1 lead into the second against Illinois. Let's look at the season outlook for this Big Ten team. Returning 7 starters, seeking an NCAA 4th appearance in the last 7 years. And last year, all of the games that Illinois played were in-conference games. They did not play any games out of conference. They played well over 40 games, all of them against Big Ten opponents because of the diverted COVID schedule. And they returned to non-conference play and a normal Big Ten schedule this year.
They were 24-21 in that conference-only schedule.
Kelly Riono is the first hitter to face Shelby Sunseri. Sunseri surrendered a couple of doubles, 1 to Steiner, 1 to Loya for the Illini lead. And then the Tigers ripped 5 base hits, but only got a couple of runs out of it in the bottom of the first. 2-1 LSU leads. Riono, Vickery, and Reiniak.
Riono is a Huntington Beach, California native. Looks like that doesn't get this cold in Huntington Beach.
Sydney Peterson moves to her right and makes the play behind second base.
Boy, Peterson has made some fantastic defensive plays already this young season.
You're speaking of cold. Well, how about in Champaign, Illinois? A high of 20 today. No, a low of 20. A high of 57, a low of... Okay, a high of 20 is correct. Tomorrow, a high of 10.
Ice fishing?
And snow, by the way. A high of 20 today. A high of 10 tomorrow in Champaign, Illinois.
That's what I said. Today must feel balmy to those girls. Of course, not the girl from California, which there's a few of them on the team.
That's Burr with a lot of R's.
That's like I'm not coming out of my house.
1-1 pitch to Vickery.
It's like I said yesterday, that's like every pipe in Louisiana broken.
This is popped up and it's playable on the right side. And the freshman second baseman Peterson makes the catch again. 2 pop outs to the right side here in the second inning. And Abby Reiniak steps into the plate.
2 quick outs for Sunseri, and that's what you need to do when your team just gave you the lead. Go out there and 1, 2, 3.
Player number 12, Abby Reiniak.
This is the first at bat of the season for this designated player. Reiniek spells her last name Ryniec.
She's an Illinois girl. Know much about Illinois? No.
Chicago.
Yeah, that's about.
My understanding is that Illinois is very different. You've got the urban areas of Chicago, etc., and then the southern half of Illinois with a lot of corn and agriculture.
Midwest. Do love Chicago, though.
That's going to be a strikeout and a big inning for Sunseri. A couple of pop-ups and a strikeout. 3 up, 3 down. And we move on to the bottom of the second. LSU 2, Illinois 1. Two runs, 5 hits for the Tigers after 1 at bat and 1 run, a couple of base hits by Illinois. Back a pair of doubles in the first inning, put the Illini in front. But LSU got base hits from Coffey and Briggs and Sunseri and Clark and Newland. Here's the outlook for the Tigers. They're looking for their 16th consecutive NCAA regional berth. Picked to finish pretty much in the middle of the pack of the SEC.
Alabama and Florida loaded.
Kilponen and Pleasance preseason. All SEC selections. When you make that list, you've done something. The number of high caliber SEC softball players grows every year. And it's just not juniors and seniors. It's amazing how many freshmen make a huge and quick impact on teams.
They're ready to play when they get here, but you look at the national rankings and you see how many SEC teams are in it, and then golly, wait till Oklahoma and Texas join this league.
Savannah Stewart at the bottom of the order, batting for the first time today. Savannah is 1 for 4 on the year.
Had a tremendous freshman year, kind of dropped off a little bit after that. You know, that talking about freshmen, you know, sometimes they just don't know any better and perform so much better. Remember having to teach some of our players about the SEC and what it meant. You know, when your player gets off the bus and says, "I'm ready to beat Ole Miss," you've done a bad job of preparing your team.
Tell me that didn't happen.
It happened. Of course, she was from California, and so O-L-E to her
Was Ole.
was Ole. It's one of my all-time favorites.
That's a great one. This is hit deep over the center fielder's head. It's down on the warning track next to the wall. And a 2-bagger for Savannah Stewart.
And that's what's so special about slappers these days. It's not just poke and run. It's being able to drive the ball. And she does that.
At the plate for the Tigers.
Playing her a little shallow in center field, but she definitely got burnt.
That was Vickery, who turned and ran as fast as she could. But that ball was driven near the bottom of the center field wall. And Stewart rests at second base. She's immediately in scoring position for Danica Coffey, who had a base hit last time and scored. LSU hitters now are 3 for 5 in full count situations. And that's a lot of full counts for Sydney Sickles already in the game.
Well, she's already, as we said, she's in the 49 pitches in the second inning. And, you know, a good game is in the high 80s, so you can tell she's struggling.
She had 42 pitches in the first inning.
Yeah, she's struggling a little bit. Good job by
Megan Ward, the shortstop.
I was going to say good job by Stewart, too, because the Tigers have already had a few base running mistakes, but the ball's in front of you, so that's a no-brainer. Just look at it. But, yes, nice play. You got to get it in a hurry, and you got to get rid of it in a hurry.
So Stewart has to hold her ground at second base. And here's Briggs, who dropped a bunt for a base hit last time. Pleasance is on deck. LSU leads 2-1 in the second inning. Don't forget, about 30 or 35 minutes after the conclusion of this game, the tournament will end with LSU and Central Arkansas, and we will have it for you here on the SEC ESPN Network. A little pre-Super Bowl softball.
Speaking of, go Burrow, go.
You tried to buy a Joe Burrow king cake, didn't you?
I did. It wasn't ready, so I had to leave because I couldn't be late for the ball game. But it was decorated with the Bengals colors, the black and the orange, and a Joe Burrow special king cake.
Do you think you might have time between games?
No. And there's no delivery service. But I'm ready for Joe. I've got a candle with Joe Burrow on it.
A candle?
Oh yeah, big Catholic girl. I'm gonna burn it today. Not that I respect the Rams. I love Matthew Stafford, what he stands for, and our guy Andrew Whitworth. Have you seen his acceptance speech for Man of the Year?
When you win the Walter Payton Man of the Year,
incredible.
That's about the highest honor in sport on any level.
Incredible.
I have not seen the acceptance speech, but you have made me want to go look it up.
Just a true gentleman, and I mean there was no notes. He just spoke from his heart, and it was. Everybody needs to listen to it.
That is one of the highest honors in all of sports.
Absolutely.
The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year.
Sickles is struggling, but that was a heck of a pitch there.
She gets Briggs.
See this changeup that's just gonna. Briggs is kind of running through it. I don't know if that was a changeup. I can't. The glare is so bad. Forgive me out there if I'm getting these pitches wrong, but it's tough to see.
Now that was an off-speed pitch.
That definitely was.
But that last pitch started just above the knees and stayed there. Yep.
Slappers want the ball up a little bit in their eyes.
Pleasance was plunked last time. LSU has left a lot of base runners in scoring position in this tournament. Let's see if Pleasance can do something about it.
Kind of been the MO the last couple of years.
That drops in foul ground despite the chase by the left fielder and the shortstop. Stewart doubled to open the inning, and she's still there with 2 outs.
With the top of the lineup. Heck of a pitch, though, to get Briggs a very good bat. So tip of the cap to Sickles. Sometimes you got to do that, Lynn. You got to praise the opponent.
Coffey hit the ball hard, but right at the shortstop. One ball, 2 strikes on the tall LSU shortstop Taylor Pleasance. That's smashed hard and plucked on the backhand side by the first baseman, Kaylee Powell. Kaylee Powell does a very nice job to get her team back to the dugout. A double to lead it off, but no runs coming across for the Tigers, who have a 2-1 lead. Well, there's a new LSU baseball coach about to get the season started. This is Jay Johnson throwing out the first pitch. I had a conversation with him yesterday prior to a full game-type scrimmage that the Tigers were going through in the afternoon, and he's very excited about the prospects for LSU baseball. The offense looks like it's going to be very solid, 1 through 9. Still some pieces to put together in the pitching department, but he was very enthusiastic about the potential for this pitching staff.
I'm totally respecting him already because he threw it underhand.
Absolutely.
Drives me a little crazy when they go out there and throw it overhand. It's softball. So, He's earned my respect. Of course, he already had it, but
You like baseball, don't you?
I do. And when I was asked, I threw it overhand. Do I like baseball? Every summer of my life, I spent in Houston watching the Stros.
Did you play baseball growing up?
Sure, morning till night, till my daddy whistled to come home.
That's nice.
Yep. Of course, it was across the street in a field that this man graciously let us build a diamond, build a backstop, try to make a sunken dugout till my mom caught us.
Really?
Wasn't pretty.
Great. Now that is a commitment to authenticity.
I've been building fields since I'm 6 years old, I think.
Yeah, but as a kid, you're building your own
We
dugout?
We did. And then she came over and said, "It's not our property. What do you think you're doing?"
Wow.
We cut the grass to make it a diamond.
Did you cut it cross blade to give it that visual effect?
But you had to wear a jacket if you were the pitcher and you got on base, no matter if it was 100 degrees.
I like it. You know, those are the memories of youth that I think are special for softball. I think they are special for baseball. They are both games that have legacy involved in them.
And 50 years of Title IX, so wasn't allowed to play anything when I was growing up. There was no female sports for me in my little town of Broussard, and so when all the boys that I played with went to the first T-ball practice, they're like, "Where's Yvette?" But in those days, little girls couldn't play T-ball.
Did you have a nickname?
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Okay.
Can't
All right.
share it.
Will you tell me privately between
No,
innings?
no.
Now
Actually,
I really want to know.
it was just why. Why?
I've been asking why of you for several years.
Title IX, 50 years old. Look at what we're playing in now and us broadcasting games. And this was the last hurdle for this game, was to get on TV. And once we did, we captured everybody's imagination.
Pleasance makes the play at shortstop. I did not think she was going to be able to reach it when it left the bat, but she took one long step, extended that left arm, and then the arm angle about which you have talked so often. Watch this arm angle, Yvette.
Speaking of baseball, can they do it any better than that?
So Ward is thrown out by her counterpart. And this brings on Avery Steiner, who rammed the first pitch she saw in the game into the right center field gap. It rolled all the way to the wall, and she later came around to score on a two-out double by Bella Loya.
Quite an opening to the game.
Steiner is 4 for 13. That gets a piece of the outside corner.
What a great pitch by Sanseri.
Well, she has retired 5 in a row since Loya's double. A diving catch is made in right field by Gutierrez.
And she came on so slowly and loping. I thought that was a base hit, but good to be a lefty in that situation. Leaves her feet and makes a tremendous catch.
Gutierrez making the diving catch for out number 2. Now here's Meade with 2 gone and the bases idle. Ball 1. Meade struck out in the first.
Want to hear a really good Gutierrez fun fact?
Bring it to me.
She always carries red pepper flakes with her. Always.
Red pepper flakes?
Yes, and puts it on everything she eats. You know, we carry Slap Your Mama.
Right.
She carries red pepper flakes. You know, what you see in the pizza places.
I like those, but I'm not so certain I would like it on everything.
Her roommate says she eats it on everything, breakfast to dinner.
I'm going to ask her about that.
I'm sure people around the country are like, "What Slap Your Mama?"
It's not an insult.
No, it's not.
Meade goes down on strikes for the second time. Let's look at a defensive play by Gutierrez. We'll do that later. The pitch is in there for well delivered by Sunseri, and it's a 2-. There's nothing unusual about what you're seeing on your screen right now. This is the dominance of SEC softball up and down the league. Look at the teams involved actually in the top 20. You've got Alabama at number 2, Florida at number 5. Arkansas is number 9, Missouri number 12, LSU at 15. 10. The 3-game series are played between those teams.
Every weekend once the SEC starts. Hard to win this league.
Shelby Sunseri at the plate. Even though the Tigers have smacked 6 hits and they have hit the ball hard, they haven't necessarily hit it effectively with runners in scoring position. The Tigers really could have 4 or 5 runs without any problem.
They could have put the game out of reach in the first inning and just left too many people on base.
Sunseri and Clark and Newland scheduled to hit here in the 3rd. Sydney Sickles has been sidestepping hot coals since the start of this game, but she's been able to do just enough to get LSU out in positions where the Tigers could have really changed the scoreboard in a hurry.
Well, she threw well last inning. She's starting off okay right now. She's come up with some big pitches to get her out of jams.
Stewart doubled to open the inning, and then Sickles got a ground out, a strikeout, and a ground out.
Yeah, that'll leave you sleepless at night as a coach to lead off with a double, and she sits there.
Here's another 3-2 pitch. There have been many of them. It's popped up on the right side, and Powell is there to squeeze it. That's the 7th 3-2 count already.
That wasn't an easy play for her. The sun is right above us. The wind is blowing, and she fought that ball until the last minute.
Here's Clark, who had a base hit in the 1st. Newland is on deck. She had a base hit in the 1st inning as well. Strike 1. That ball had a little twist to it as it got to the plate.
Late break curve. We talked about rise and curve. She's thrown some pretty good change-ups in there.
Clark had 10 home runs last year. She drove in 32. She's had 3 home runs already this year.
Tried to go a ball off the plate there, but a little bit too wide. Came back to the same pitch, just moved it off the plate a little bit.
Is there a play? No, there's not. You were looking at, made notice of Clark's shoes, which have some orange striping at the bottom, and of course the swoosh adorns those shoes. That reminds me, I believe that she is close to, or maybe already has secured, an internship at Nike.
Good for her. We have more than a few Tigers that have graduated already. And 3/4 of the team on the SEC honor roll. Do a great job off the field with their lives and their futures.
The 2-2 pitch.
May not be getting those big NIL deals, but they are set up for their futures.
LSU has out-hit Illinois 6-2. The wind is whipping again. Yvette, we've seen it right to left, we've seen it left to right, and now it is close to left to right again.
By the river, and got the northerly wind today, so you'll see a lot of different things out here at Tiger Park. Mississippi River is right behind us.
Another 3-ball, 2-strike count. LSU is 3 for 7 in these opportunities. This is hit high, it's hit deep, and it is caught at the wall by the center fielder. Jalen Vickery went right back to the wall at the 220-foot mark and played it well. That wind may have knocked it down a little bit, but Vickery was there to grab it and prevent Clark from claiming her 4th home run of the season.
I think it did. She hit it to the deepest part of the park and just missed a home run there.
So 2 gone. And Sickles, after that leadoff double by Stewart in the 2nd inning, has retired 5 consecutive Tigers.
Settling down here, the senior is starting to look like herself.
Here's Newland, who had a base hit last time. Sickles steals the circle and turns it into an out. A 1-2-3 inning. And the Tigers will take a 2-1 lead as we go to the 4th in the first game of 2 today at Tiger Park. LSU has out-hit Illinois 6-2, but leads by a single run. It's 2-1. The SEC team leading the Big Ten team as we go to the 4th here in Tiger Park. Well, there's a lonely guy out there on a cold Sunday morning. The Kona Ice truck. That's one of the most popular spots in the ballpark when the weather gets a little bit more conducive.
Not today.
Leading off for Illinois, the top of the 4th.
Shelby Sunseri has allowed a couple of base hits. They both came in the 1st inning. No walks. 3 strikeouts. She's got the capacity to really minimize the number of bases on balls.
Well, Beth Arena says she can throw any pitch on any count. You just saw a little drop curve change there. She's been in every situation, as we said. She's a 5th-year senior. Beth Arena said she's looked as good as ever in the circle and swinging the stick.
2 quick strikes to Kaylee Powell. Powell came into the game 4 for 13 with 3 doubles and a home run.
It's anybody's ball game here, 2-1. That's when you're dealing, when you can get the hitter to swing at a pitch that's not close to a strike.
Powell is thrown out at first after the strikeout. That's the 2nd by Sunseri. And this brings on Bella Loya. Make it the 3rd strikeout for Sunseri. She got Meade twice and then Powell. Loya had a double and drove in a run in the 1st inning, and she has had a very, very nice opening weekend. This time she flies to left field. Loya is a freshman catcher, and Yvette, she's got 6 hits already.
Good
Not that time, though.
Yeah, good weekend for her, but both pitchers look like now they've settled into a groove. After fireworks in the 1st inning, it's been kind of a lull.
Well, and that 1st inning was punctuated by that RBI double by Loya. Since then, there have been no Illini base runners.
I'd say that's buckling down for Sunseri.
Our SEC ESPN network coverage of Diamond Sports continues next weekend when the Tigers meet Maine to open the season and the opening series of the season, LSU and Maine, starting next Friday. We hope you'll join us. We've got a one-run game brewing here. Although the complexion of the game, the type of game it's been, certainly has made it apparent that LSU is hitting the ball well, pitching well, but not necessarily in the most timely fashion.
Yep, can't deliver that big blow in a timely fashion with the runners in scoring position.
Sinceri needs an out to turn in her third consecutive 3-up, 3-down inning. The 2-2 pitch. That's a burner over the outside edge.
No doubter about that one.
A mid-popper, strikeout number 4. And we move on. LSU 2. The Illini of Illinois 1.
And you'll see we have a Joe Burrow fan dressed out. Of course, everybody that's in purple and gold is a Joe Burrow fan, but he's got the legit merch there. He's got the number 9 Cincinnati Bengals jersey. You asked if it was the Burrow, Burreaux. No, but I own one of those.
Do you?
I thought that was the coolest thing when he ran out. Of course, Joe Burrow, the Heisman Trophy winner, national champion quarterback for the LSU Tigers, plays today, has a chance to do something no one's ever done. National championship, Heisman Trophy, and then the Super Bowl.
Can you imagine the NIL opportunities
he would have had
that been in place when he was at LSU?
Yeah, well, I don't think he's missing any money now.
Raylene Gutierrez, Jordan Perkins, and Savannah Stewart will come to the plate against Sydney Sickles. Is there a play? Yes, by the third baseman, Rummel. In foul ground.
It's amazing how Sickles has really settled down after that first.
Well, she was in the wilderness in the first couple of innings, and she has found her way back to civilization.
She was in Sherwood Forest, and right now she's in the castle.
Yeah.
She was teetering on the moat. Ooh, look at that pitch.
That is a beautiful off-speed pitch to Perkins.
It's the best changeup we've seen. And she leads off with that to Perkins, who's a big-time swinger. Perkins is like a do-or-die, home run or nothing swinger.
She popped up to second base in the first. And that one finds the strike zone. Both Sickles for the Illini and Sinceri for the Tigers are in a deep groove right now. A 3-pitch strikeout. A changeup and then 2 rippers over the outside edge.
Of course, Lance McMahon is the pitching coach for Illinois, and he was under Beth Torina here for most of those World Series runs and doing a great job over there calling pitches.
3 strikeouts for Sickles.
Of course, Sickles has to execute them, so.
Despite the fact that there have been 8 3-ball, 2-strike counts, she hasn't walked anybody.
That's an amazing stat.
42 pitches Sickles threw in the first inning, and Yvette since then, she's thrown 42.
That'll give your defense some confidence behind you. That I can come back from that deficit.
Stewart takes a strike.
You see she is mixing it up here. She'll definitely throwing the hitters off balance with timing.
Stewart rammed a double over Vickery's head in center field last time, and that's the last base runner that the Tigers have had.
They're still not playing her deep, especially in right field. Of course, they're going to throw her outside, so.
Right now, though, Sickles is hitting the head pin with a variety of pitches.
Definitely keeping the hitters off balance. Timing is such an important factor in being successful at the plate.
The 0-2 is off the mark. You know, this game by Sickles is reminiscent in good portion of what Lauren Wiles did, the freshman who absorbed the loss against Illinois, against LSU earlier in the tournament, but it's a similar performance.
Been a close game.
That's looped off the end of the bat and handled by the second baseman Steiner. So Sickles has retired everybody since that leadoff double by Stewart in the second. It's still a 2-1 lead. Tyra Perry is the head coach of the Illini, and she was a heck of a player for LSU, an outfielder back in the late 1990s. And she started her career at Nichols, but she has always felt connected to Baton Rouge and LSU.
She's a Baton Rouge native, and she's had a great coaching career so far. She's only the second ever head coach for the Illini.
She was on that first LSU NCAA regional team.
She's the first team All-Louisiana, for SEC All-Tournament team, All-South region. An even better person, comes from a tremendous family here in Baton Rouge.
1 ball, 1 strike on Kelly Riono. Just a little more information on Perry. She was the first coach. She started the program at Birmingham Southern not long after she finished her career at LSU.
Then went to Western Kentucky and was very successful there.
Riono is able to get the barrel of the bat out on that pitch and drive it to right. That's her first base hit, and it's the first base hit since Loya's double with 2 outs in the first. That's the first base runner in a long time for the Illini.
Good piece of hitting there, outside pitch, and drives it. Hits the ball where it's pitched.
So a leadoff single by Riono in a 1-run game. And here's Jalen Vickery, who popped up to Peterson last time.
Ooh, what a nice bunt.
And the putout is made first baseman to second baseman covering. That's a play in which everybody in the infield is moving and moving quickly. Defenders crashing from the corner, second baseman covering first.
And
shortstop covering second.
Sinceri being a drop ball pitcher, easier to bunt in that situation. Her job is to not allow the bunt to be successful, but good job by the Illini. Now they have the tying run at second base. And these are the games, as you mentioned, the longer it goes, the scarier it gets for the Tigers.
And we've got a pinch hitter. This is Danielle Davis.
Redshirt junior from Missouri City, Texas. Now I'm gonna say not far from here, but closer than Illinois.
One run, 3 hits. That's been it for the Illini, but they are knocking on the door with a runner at second base and 1 out. Davis pinch hitting. A tall right-handed batter, and there's a burner in the bottom part of the strike zone.
Sunseri going to work early here.
Riono had a base hit and was sacrificed to second. Ward is on deck in a 1-run game.
Big split grip here.
The outfield is a little deeper than normal and pretty much straight away.
Be tough to throw out any runner.
Davis gets a little piece of that. Sunseri almost got that ball into the mitt of Newland before the contact.
She throws that hard drop ball, heavy ball.
Davis is 1 for 5 in the tournament.
Sticking with that drop, trying to get that ground ball out, keep it in the infield.
Davis likes to move those hands apart and show bunt, and then we'll get back into a conventional swinging formation, although she still uses a split grip on the bat.
Timing mechanism for her. Wow.
That's caught at first base to throw back to second, not in time for the force. Georgia Clark just saved a run for the LSU Tigers.
She absolutely did. Nice play and almost got the double.
That one in your scorebook, but there's still work to be done with the tying run at second base and 2 outs.
Backhanded that rocket shot over there.
Steve right to Ward. Davis did everything she could. She hit the ball very viciously, but just couldn't get it by Georgia Clark.
And she got robbed of a base hit and an RBI more than likely.
No question. And that would have probably put her in scoring position as well. 1 run, 3 hits for the Illini. 2 runs, 6 hits for the Tigers. The 1-1. Bounce to the left side. Taylor Pleasance cannot make the play as she leaves her feet. And it rolls all the way out into center field. And the Illini, on the base hit by Megan Ward, have tied the game with 2 outs in the 5th inning.
Great job of hitting here. Pleasance shaded a little bit towards left field.
That's a double off the glove of Pleasance, who did everything she could to knock that ball down. It just got beyond her. She was able to reroute it, and actually that allowed Ward to take second base. But an RBI double, and we are brand new. And I bet you go back and look at the opportunities LSU had in the 1st and 2nd inning when they left a lot of potential runs on base. Both pitchers have been really good since the early innings, but the Illini able to tie it here in the 5th.
Well, you just know in a situation like that more than likely it's going to come back and bite you. You've got to take advantage of that huge inning. You know, it's a good thing for the Tigers that Briggs is fast, because when that ball was deflected, the runner could be on third. I'm not sure it would have rolled all the way to the field for the fence. Had it done that, then she certainly would have scored.
And we will have a new pitcher here as Ali Kilponen comes out of the LSU bullpen. So a single by Riono to open it, and a 2-out double by Ward off the glove of Pleasance. And that is the end of the day for Shelby Sunseri, who perhaps deserves better, leaving with a 2-2 ball game. We'll step aside and be back in just a moment. The Illini 2, the Tigers 2. LSU has made a pitching change in a 2-2 game, and Allie Kilponen has come out of the bullpen.
Hard throwing Kilponen is expected to come in here and throw strikes and BBs and get him out of this inning.
She had 26 appearances, make it 24 appearances last year in terms of record, with an ERA of 2 and nearly a strikeout per inning, and about a 3-to-1 strikeout to walks ratio. Sunseri went 4 2/3, allowed only 4 hits, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 5. So Kilponen inherits a runner at second base in a 2-2 game and 2 outs. And the Tigers also have a new second baseman in Presley Pylon. So Pylon replaces Peterson. And this allows Beth Torina to massage the lineup to keep Sunseri's bat in the lineup.
Pylon's a very good second baseman also. We've seen 2 tremendous defensive second basemen so far.
There's a quick strike. Steiner has doubled, and that led off the game, and she was robbed of a base hit on a diving catch by Gutierrez, who had to leave her feet to make a flying catch in right field back in the 3rd inning.
Tough spot for Kilponen to come into.
The 0-2 pitch is lobbed out toward left, and it's caught on the run by Savannah Stewart. So Kilponen gets the final out of the inning, but a base hit by Riono and a 2-out double by Ward off the glove of Pleasance have tied the score 2 apiece here in Baton Rouge. The bottom of the 5th inning is coming your way right now. We are brand new 2 apiece, Illinois and LSU, after the Illini got the game-tying run in the top of the frame. And Lauren Wiles, who was an effective pitcher against LSU earlier in the week, is in relief right now. 6 innings, 4 hits, that's it. 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. We talked about it early in the show about how effective she was in her collegiate debut. And even though she absorbed the loss against LSU, she pitched very well. So she's on here for the 2nd time in the tournament against the Tigers.
And she's a big-time drop ball pitcher, so she should be able to keep the ball in the park.
Danica Coffey leads it off at the top of the order. Nicely done by the shortstop, Megan Ward. She knew she was going to have to release the ball with some gusto and accurately, and she did so.
I thought Coffey might have had a base hit, because when it bounces twice with someone that runs that well, that's trouble. But Coffey, as you said, put some mustard on that throw and got her out.
Give a lot of credit to Sydney Sickles, who was dancing around disaster. She had several disaster dance partners early in the game, but was able to get rid of all of them, and
I thought
she threw extremely well after the leadoff double by Stewart in the 2nd inning. In fact, she did not allow a base runner.
Yeah, I thought she was just getting stronger, getting in a groove, getting her confidence up.
LSU's 6 hits came before nobody was out in the 2nd inning, and nothing since then.
Lance McMahon comes out of the dugout quite just staring down home plate blue, saying, where's that pitch?
Riggs will take the stroll. There's some of the youngsters. Sickles, there she is. Really, really nice job after the first inning.
Really settled down, you're right. You're seeing Wiles with that inside drop, the outside drop right there, right down the middle, although it's moving. It's moving through the zone.
Three balls and a strike here. Let's see if the Tigers can get a base runner, their first since the second inning. There's a knock into center. Briggs got the barrel of the bat on it in a very compact swing. And the young center fielder for the Tigers is on base with one out.
She's already had a good career here, but she's a really good little ball player.
So LSU with its first hit since the leadoff double by Stewart in the second inning, and its first base runner since that stopping mark. Here's Pleasance, who has been hit by a pitch and then grounded out unassisted to first.
Pleasance hasn't really broken out yet here this year. Of course, much is expected of her. Everything preseason, chosen to the USA national team already.
She is 1 for 14 with a couple of runs driven in. That one hit was a 2-run double. It's very unlikely that LSU will ask Pleasance to sacrifice. She's had only 2 sacrifices in her career.
Yeah, you're not going to really take the bat out of those hands.
And an illegal pitch has been called, I believe. It was called by the first base umpire, Chris Tahanika. And if indeed it is an illegal pitch, it's the third one of the game. Or was it Pleasance out of the box? I'm not.
No, I think they're calling Briggs for leaving early.
All right.
There are 2 outs.
Briggs was at first base with 1 out.
She's not there anymore. So
let's see if we can see any infraction by Briggs. This will give us a good look. Yeah, she was premature. So Briggs leads early.
Gotta have the same lead all the time so you don't allow Blue to make some kind of adjustment.
Give the put out to the first baseman, who was the closest to the play. And Yvette, that replay did show that she did get an early start.
Yeah, unfortunate when there's no hit and run on, or unless she was going to steal.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Off speed, a beauty of a delivery, well disguised by Wiles. And Pleasance was lunging for it and could not find it. We move on in a 2-2 game. The Illini, the Tigers in Baton Rouge. There's a little greenery. The palm trees, one of several out beyond the left field and center field walls here at beautiful Tiger Park. They took a beating last year in some cold weather at this time. There was snow, there was ice, several sub-freezing days, and it stunted them a year ago. But they're coming back.
Don't count them out. They're coming back.
Meanwhile, we've got a 2-2 ball game, and both starters are gone. Allie Kilponen has replaced Shelby Sinceri for the Tigers, and Lauren Wiles is in the circle now after replacing starter Sydney Sickles.
Opponent comes in throwing BBs, but you kind of got the feeling that the momentum is in that third base dugout right
Number
now.
one.
It's just got those long levers, you know, and just gets to the ball effortless.
So here's Taylor Pleasance, one of the tallest shortstops you'll see.
Now batting for Illinois.
And Yvette, it occurs to me that Taylor Pleasance is doing for this women's game what's been done for a while now in the men's game with larger shortstops and larger second basemen. Cal Ripken in the major leagues was probably, you know, he was a good 6'4", 6'5", 225 pounds or so. They said, this guy can never play shortstop, you know, just looking at him. But of course, like Pleasance, you put it all together, you know what you can do and you know what you can't do, and you work at it. And he was a tremendous defensive player, obviously the all-time iron horse of Major League Baseball, but you know, probably the first really oversized, by those standards, oversized shortstop. What's Pleasance? What's her height listed?
I think she's 6 foot.
I think she is as well. So in most games, Taylor Pleasance is the tallest player on the field, and she's at shortstop, which requires a tremendous amount of mobility.
And she has it. I thought that was a base hit a while ago, but she made up that ground easily.
As an announcer, you learn not to call a base hit when the ball is hit to the left side until it clearly gets beyond Taylor Pleasance, because in the middle of that first or second bounce, she almost is not in the picture, and all of a sudden she's got the ball.
Fun to watch.
It is. 3-2 pitch. Powell goes down on strikes. That's the second time she has been unable to connect.
Kilponen showing some excitement and emotion on that K. You know, she's counted on to come in and kind of pick this team up a little bit.
LSU pitching today has not allowed a base on balls. Good stuff. Ball one to Bella Loya. Bella Loya has doubled in a run and flied to left.
See the movement on that pitch, kind of trying to backdoor curveball there.
Loya is 6 for 12. She's a rookie catcher and swinging a big bat in this tournament. The 2-0 pitch. Steve, right.
See the angle of that pitch. Kilponen kind of stepping left and that ball tailing in right. You know, when she first got here, all she had was screwball posture. We talk about Beth Torina finding her, and she was really a mold of clay. She really hadn't any pitching coaches or anything, and Beth wouldn't even let her throw a screwball the whole fall because she had to correct her posture. Now she throws them all.
The 3-1 pitch. Off the mark.
And you know, you kind of jinxed them, right?
I don't believe in jinxes.
Shoot. If you were a coach, you would believe in all that stuff, all that silliness.
What was your favorite, either you personally or a player, favorite superstition?
Well, I had to wear the same socks all the time.
You did
Go through
wash
the same,
them.
yes. go through the same routine for every game, get out of the car the same way.
Did you do it subconsciously or consciously?
Oh, I think it was probably consciously.
Right now, the Tigers are looking for the final out in the top of the 6th. Rummel at the plate. She has popped up to Pleasance and struck out. This is popped up again to Pleasance. And the two-handed catch retires the Illini. So a 2-out walk, but no damage done to LSU. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning in Baton Rouge. It's 2-2. Illinois has traveled 782 miles from Champaign to come down south and engage in a 2-2 ball game with the LSU Tigers on the final day of this 3-day Tiger Classic tournament. LSU beat Illinois on Friday 4-2. It was 2-1 after 1 inning. The Tigers banged out 5 base hits, but only got a couple of runs in the first inning. And since then, Illinois pitching has put the clamp on the LSU offense. Let's see if Sunseri can do something about it. She was the starting pitcher. She went 4 2/3. She has a 2-run single to her credit. That came in the first. And has popped up to the first baseman. Sydney Sickles started. Was able to work her way around a lot of potential trouble early. And Lauren Wiles out of the bullpen. And drops in an off-speed pitch.
Matching that drop ball posture.
Wiles is a freshman. Loya, the catcher, is a freshman.
Tried to waste that pitch.
In all the years that you coached, taking 5 teams to the College World Series, did you ever have a freshman battery? If you did, the remembrance does not come easily, does it?
No, but remembrance doesn't come easy on anything right now. I might have. I think I did.
Ward gobbles up that ground ball moving to her left and turns it into an out.
I have to do some research on that later, Lynn. That question.
You know, if I'm seeing this correctly, the first baseman, Kaylee Powell, also carries a mouthpiece with her in her left hand and then
puts it in
her mouth right before the pitch. I mean, she's got it in her hand. There it goes.
That's not
and now she takes it out.
Not too sanitary, but how many times you see people licking their hands? And yeah, she's got that routine.
I was trying to figure out what that orange apparatus was, but it's a mouthpiece.
It's got it down.
That's a burner over the outside edge. A ball, 2 strikes to Georgia Clark.
That's definitely.
Clark can give the Tigers the lead with 1 swing.
Pitcher's pitch, though. Whew, that's a good pitch.
Clark hit the ball very deep to the wall in the 3rd inning. It was caught by Vickery, and Clark had a single in the first. Now that's that pitch that was aimed outside from the get-go. Clark was not tempted.
Came back to the same pitch, but you're right. Good job by Clark not to fish for that pitch.
Speaking of fishing, I understand you struck out yesterday.
Day before the front. What's up with that?
The 2-2. Oh, Clark chased one that had her off balance with the off speed and then was off the plate as well.
Well, she got her off balance, and it didn't really matter that it probably wasn't a strike. She just saw something that looked totally different.
Allie Newland.
2 outs. And Newland comes to the plate. She's 1 for 2.
Kudos to the freshman, though, on that pitcher. That was nasty.
Back to the heat for a strike. Newland, a year ago in part-time duty, hit 200. She did knock 3 out of the ballpark. LSU needs some base runners. Tigers have only had 1 base runner since nobody out in the 2nd inning after a double by Stewart. Since then, 1 base runner.
That's amazing, because in the 1st inning it looked like it might be a run rule.
"13 out of the last 14 Tigers have failed to reach base." Here we go at 2-1. Smashed into right field. There's the base hit with 2 outs. Allie Newland finds her way aboard. It comes with 2 gone. And Gutierrez is coming to the plate. She has struck out and fouled out to Rummel at third base.
I really like the way Newland swings the bat. I think she's got a chance to be a really good ball player. Tigers have 8 hits. Only 2 runs to score. We keep coming back to that blown 1st inning.
And to an extent, the 2nd inning after the leadoff double. And the inning ended with the runner at second base. Lauren Wiles working to Raylene Gutierrez. Gutierrez had some really big hits toward the end of last year.
Good-looking young player, too, that we said can play first base and right field, both effectively. That's a tough pitch for a lefty to hit. They've got to stay off that pitch, but kudos to Wiles. She's making it look hittable.
2 runs, 4 hits for the Illini. 2 runs, 8 hits for the Tigers. 2 outs and Newland at first. She's on the move, and she gets into scoring position and appears to be shaken up at second base.
Had more than a few collisions here this weekend.
So Allie Newland will draw some medical attention.
Looks like she's going to be okay, I think.
I'm not sure whether she slid into the defender or jammed herself on the base.
Talking about her head.
Yeah,
Ooh.
There's the contact. The left
The
knee of the shortstop
could be
was
close,
in the path of
close.
Newland.
Could be real close to obstruction.
Newland dusts herself off. She's in scoring position.
I think Beth Torina trying to manufacture a run here.
And I think that was a really fine recognition by Newland. I don't think she was off immediately. I think she saw the opportunity when the catcher had to leave her position.
Well, you do that drill every day, ball in the dirt, because it's something that a coach can't teach. It has to be a split reaction by the runner.
Gutierrez reaches and can't find it. And a big strikeout for Wiles, her second of the inning and her third since coming on in relief. LSU has out-hit the Illini 8-4, but we've got a 2-2 game as we go to the 7th. The Tigers have made a defensive change. There is a new right fielder. Morgan Smith is in the pasture right now, replacing Gutierrez. Morgan Smith will bat in the 7th position. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 7th for the Tigers, it'll be Perkins and Stewart, and then the top of the order in Coffey. But first, the Illini will have a crack at Allie Kilponen. Kelly Riono is 1 for 2. She singled and scored the tying run in the 5th inning. She got the base hit off Sinceri and later scored on a double by Ward. The 1-0. Steve, right.
You can see that big screwball posture there. Big step left. Come inside.
One ball, 2 strikes. LSU's runs came in the first. The Illini scored in the top of that frame and added the third. That's the second time, Yvette, that she has opened the inning with a base hit.
Good job of hitting there and doing her job, getting that leadoff hitter on.
It's the third time in 7 tries that the Illini have had their leadoff batter aboard. Riono twice, and then Steiner to open the game.
Might she just straight steal here?
So it immediately puts some additional pressure on the infield.
Everything really comes into focus here. One little mistake.
Steve, right. 1-1.
Good job by good job by to get her to foul that ball off.
1 ball, 2 strikes now. Let's see if they still have the bunt on. That hit the runner. Still no call from the umpire. And now we're going to have a conversation. That was a liner that directly hit the runner. The only thing that could come in play here was with the fielder in front of the runner.
Past the infielder.
That's the only thing that could be discussed. The only thing. It clearly hit the runner on a line drive. Where are the defensive players? No problem there. Well, I mean, potentially there is a problem there if they're saying that ball was by the first baseman.
But the first baseman plays up, you know,
right,
and then...
Right. Just one of those weird deals.
Weird deals.
I think there's going to be a double play in this. No, they can't. The batter has got to be...
The ball's dead.
Awarded first base. And officially, she'll get credit for a base hit, by the way.
See, the Tigers got lucky here because, again, that's a rocket.
It is. And I think the ruling of it is that the first baseman was in front of the runner.
But
however, she didn't have a play on the ball.
And the runner's in their lane, and
neither umpire made the call until it played out.
It was a little strange off the bat.
Now officially Vickery will get a base hit.
Had worked in Illinois' favor.
Davis rips it over Coffey's head. Boy, she has had 2 at-bats, and she has hit the ball extremely hard both times.
She almost got robbed again, but you're right. Can't do it any better than that. And how big is that hit runner by the ball now?
Well, no doubt it saved a run. But there's still work to be done. And that's 3 hits in a row officially for the Illini. I don't think the scoreboard is caught up yet with that other base hit.
Ward coming into this game's hitting 125. No RBIs.
Briggs makes the catch in left center field for the second out. And now Steiner comes to the plate with 2 teammates aboard and 2 gone. Avery Steiner has a double. She was robbed of a base hit on a diving catch in right field by Gutierrez. And she has flied to left, and she was the first batter that Kilponen faced in relief.
Tough out.
Indeed. Strike 1.
Got us a nail biter here in the top of the 7th.
Strike 2.
2 great pitches by Kilponen. Let's see if she can throw a third one in there somewhere. Sometimes it takes more than 2 great pitches in an at-bat. Oh, that ball just got away from her.
No chance for Newland to make the pickup. A wild pitch advances the runners.
Almost like she lost her grip through her backswing.
Nerves are jangling in both dugouts. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A pair of Illini in scoring position in the top of the 7th in a 2-2 game. 1-2 pitch.
Curve in.
Two runs, 7 hits for the Illini. 2 runs, 8 hits for the Tigers. No separation in runs scored. The 2-2. Out at first base. And Allie Kilponen leaves 2 in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The run wins it for the Tigers. The Tigers scored a pair of runs in the first inning. They have not scored since then. The Illini 2, LSU 2. We play in the bottom of the 7th.
None of that matters if they can push a run across right now. Presley Pylon, who just made that big play to end that inning.
Pylon is hitting in the Perkins position. So there was that switch we were talking about.
Right.
We weren't sure exactly how it would go down, but it was Pylon inserted into the 8th position in the batting order.
And that's to keep Sunseri's bat in the lineup. I don't know if we've seen Pylon yet. We haven't seen her, I don't believe. Does she have any at-bats
We'll
yet?
check it. The play made by the second baseman Steiner. And that was only the 3rd at bat for Pylon.
At the plate for the Tigers, left fielder number 8, Savannah Stewart.
Here's Stewart. LSU has not had opportunities on the base paths since very early in the 2nd inning. And after a leadoff double by the young lady at the plate in the 2nd inning, LSU has had only 2 base runners.
Got a good-looking drop ball by Wiles.
10 consecutive Tigers were put out after that double by Stewart in the 2nd inning. And they picked up a couple of base hits since then, one in the 5th and one in the 6th, but they both came with 2 outs.
Stewart not helping herself out there.
Coffee is on deck.
We might need some coffee at the juncture we play in this game at.
You've got time to go get that king cake. The bases are empty. The scoreboard is even. We play in the 7th. 1 out. Two balls, 2 strikes. If you're thinking long ball, 1 out of the ballpark, the established home run hitters are still a ways off in the lineup. The 2-2. Off speed. Boy, that's a dandy.
It's a heck of a pitch, especially when she's ahead. It's just so hard for those slappers running through the zone. Pull that string on the pitch and they just run past it.
That's 4 strikeouts for Wiles in relief. She came on in the 5th inning. Right back to the heat for Coffee. Coffee has singled and grounded out to the shortstop twice. She was the first batter that Wiles faced. Right 2.
And if we'll see a change in the dirt here. Leave it short. There's a change.
Rummel makes the pickup on the hop, gets it over to Powell for the out. A 1-2-3 inning. We've got some bonus softball for you. A little lagniappe in game 1 from Baton Rouge. After 7, Illinois 2, LSU 2. "15 hits have been garnered in this game between the 2 teams. 2 apiece as we go on to the 8th. Meade, Powell, and Loya coming up, as you see on your screen, against relief pitcher Allie Kilponen. Both Kilponen for the Tigers and Wiles for the Illini have been super good in relief.
Shut down out of the bullpen.
Right. Meade has fanned twice. Safe at first base. She got it deep in the hole on the left side, and not even Taylor Pleasance could make the play, especially after the slight bobble.
She might have made it interesting, but once she bobbled the ball just a tad,
Kaylee Powell.
enough speed to beat it out at first.
So it's an infield hit, and the hits are even at 8. For the second consecutive inning, Kilponen has to work with a runner on base and nobody out. Powell has grounded back to the circle and fanned twice.
You know, Newland's new back there, and I'm just wondering why, if and when Tyra Perry's going to test that arm.
(2-0). Powell has not been asked to sacrifice this year. She is the 3-hole hitter. She was 4 for 13 coming into the game with 3 doubles and a home run. She's 0 for 3 in this game. And they do ask her to bunt, and she does not make contact. The line score is very symmetrical. 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors for both teams. That's a little bit downstairs. 3-1. This is a big, big batter for both teams. The walk puts the tying run in scoring position with nobody out, or the winning run in scoring position with 1 out, the go-ahead run. And there it is. So a base hit by Meade, and after Kilponen got ahead in the count, Powell comes back and coaxes a walk.
And doesn't have to give up a sacrifice to get her to second. Will she sacrifice her to get to third?
The Illini are 4 for 8 with the leadoff hitters, and they've scored a couple of runs in those opportunities.
Of course, this is your leading hitter here. I don't think she's going to sacrifice her.
Bella Loya is hitting .500.
Only one play.
A rollout to Pleasance, but the runners advance.
Same as a sacrifice.
That slow spinner in the dirt.
She did her job.
And only one option for the shortstop, and that was to make the play at first base. So now, Allie Kilponen needs a strikeout. She's had 1 since coming into the game in relief. Delaney Rummel has popped up twice to the shortstop and struck out.
And only hitting .154 since the game started, so it's even lower now.
First base is unoccupied.
This is the hitter. This is an out you absolutely have to have.
Meade is aboard at third. Powell is aboard at second. The pitch, high and tight. There is a right-hander warming up in the LSU bullpen, but we cannot identify that player from our vantage point.
I'm thinking you come right back with Sinceri if that's who's warming up.
The 2-0 pitch, dribbled to the shortstop, and Pleasance cannot make the play. She had only one opportunity, and that was try to scoop and fire to the plate. And the Illini have come all the way back to take the lead.
She opened up so that she could make a good throw to home, and Just didn't feel the ball carefully. She just kind of struggling right now.
That's going to be ruled an error. I'm not sure there was a play anywhere, but nonetheless, what's important is the third run of the game on for the Illini as they get one in the 8th.
Man, they still have runners in scoring position.
And it appears that we will see Shelby Sunseri returning to the game. So we'll step aside here and get things sorted out. The Illini have a 3-2 lead in the top of the 8th inning in Baton Rouge. Shelby Sunseri started this game. She pitched 4 innings. She's back in now in the 8th. Sunseri allowed 4 hits and a couple of runs. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 5. Gabby Robles is the pinch runner at first. There are Illini on the corners, Powell at third. And another run comes in as the Tigers cannot connect between the circle and the dish.
It was a squeeze. I don't know if it was a suicide squeeze or if it was just a bluff, but once again, the pass ball comes back to haunt the Tigers. Yeah.
That glove just didn't move over quickly enough.
And again, it's a catcher with not a lot of experience. But the Tigers are trying to find an answer there.
Ground ball up the middle.
How about saving that run?
That is terrific. Taylor Pleasance is able to keep it on the infield. And then she throws it to the second baseman. Now, I don't know whether she thought there was a runner at first and that would be a force, or most likely, look, I can't do anything with the ball. I'm on my belly out here. Let me get it to somebody who is going to be in a defensive posture.
Absolutely, because if she stays on the ground with the ball, the runner at third has a hard break. Tyra Perry over there is stopping her because she sees Pleasance gives the ball to, is it Pylon over there? I think that's what that was all about. Good job by Pleasance to get that ball out of her glove.
Here's Vickery. And a little bit of a bobble at the plate. And we're going to have a discussion.
The girl didn't run to first. The hitter didn't run to first. What in the world just happened there?
All right, we're going to sort it all out. The runner is eventually, well after the play, thrown out at first base.
See, Clark was just going to tag her. She was waiting for her to run down to tag her, and then she got completely confused. Did that ball come off of her body? That should have been a foul ball. That
the
should have been
hitter is reacting like the ball directly struck her off the bat in the batter's box, which would be a foul ball.
And that's why Clark is screaming. Blue just missed it. Now, if we had instant replay, I don't know if that's reviewable, but that's a huge run.
All right, let's look at this again.
That's why the hitter doesn't run, because she's hurt.
Tough to tell whether it hit the tip of her foot or not.
Well, she reacts like it does.
She's acting like it did. Indeed, she's reaching down and, you know, you could also call
obstruction.
Interference there.
Yeah, interference, you're right. Well, it's a heck of a trick play. If,
it really is.
If you think about it. We don't have hidden balls, but that was just plain. I'm going to tell you something.
Well, you know, here's another. I've never seen that. Here's another option, though.
I've never seen it either.
Here's another option. When the out is made at first base, it's still a force out. That's the third out of the inning. it's still a force out no matter when it comes. So if they rule the out, there were 2 outs, right?
There was only one.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that makes that.
Never mind.
You said earlier the scoreboard had already put an out up. But anyway.
You know.
But my point is, no matter what happened, if there would have been 2 outs, no matter what happened preceding, if you still got the out at first, that's still the force out.
But it's a missed call, and it cost the Tigers a run. And I'm
No
going to
doubt.
tell you, 35 years of coaching, never seen that happen. It's weird, huh? How things can continue to happen that you've never seen.
Sure. And you may have seen them early in that 35 years and forgot about it.
Yeah, well, no, because I was like, where's the runner? Why isn't there a runner running to first? And, of course, Clark had a great, opened up. She can see exactly what's happening. She was screaming right away.
But you mentioned earlier that Clark was trying to tag the runner.
She's waiting for her to run down
Right,
there.
but that would have done no good because
Right.
the runner from third would have scored.
Right. Well, it confused her.
It did.
She didn't know what was going on. Because there's 3 people at home plate.
Exactly. Now that didn't occur with intention, but you're right. That's a heck of
a trick play.
It really is.
And we're not really quite sure where it hit her, but obviously it hit her.
Davis at the plate with 2 strikes. 3 runs have scored in the inning. We think.
It's the beauty of this game. Nothing happens, and then everything just goes a little haywire. And
the 0-2 pitch in the dirt, and a good job by Allie Newland of smothering it.
And you got to have some guts to call that pitch if you're Beth, knowing that your catchers are having a little bit of trouble stopping the ball. The runner at third. But, I mean, that's a serious pitch, so you have to be able to call it. Not in.
Out on a close play at first base. And the inning, a weird one, is over. Bottom line, the Illini get 3 in a most uncharacteristic fashion. And we move on to the bottom of the 8th, 5-2. Well, the task for the Tigers is self-evident. They need 3 to tie and 4 to win. Anything short of that will give the Illini a victory here, a comeback victory. 3 in the 8th in a very bizarre inning in which the Illini scratched for 3. There may have been a misinterpretation among the umpires, but all of that matters not. The Tigers have a 5-2 deficit facing them, with Briggs leading it off.
Well, if the Tigers go down in defeat, you just look to that first inning.
Briggs had a bunt single in the first and scored. She struck out in the second. She had a base hit in the 5th. She was 2 for 3. And she tries to poke it and will have to come back. One ball, 2 strikes. LSU needs base runners. This Illini team got a run in the first. The Tigers picked up 2 in that inning, although had a chance to get many, many more. And since then, it's been the Illini fighting back. Briggs on a very razor-thin call still has life.
You had everybody on defense jumping up and down on that last pitch.
The 2-2 pitch. Ripped and gloved by the second baseman, and Steiner makes a heck of a play.
You can't hit it any better. Can't hit it any harder. And of course, when you're behind, defense will always make plays like that.
Steiner moving quickly to her left. Watch how quickly she responds and then throws from her knees. And there's the first out. A strike to Taylor Pleasance. LSU and Central Arkansas will do battle roughly 30 to 35 minutes following this one. And we'll have it for you here on the SEC ESPN network. Pleasance a little bit tardy on that swing.
And not a strike. They're going to stay there all day long with that pitch.
Taylor has been hit by a pitch. She has rolled out to first and struck out on a changeup. One ball, two strikes, one out. Nobody on base. LSU in the 8th trails 5-2. Pleasance pokes it out toward left, and it's off the end of the bat, but it carries out to Stevie Meade for out number 2. So here's Sunseri, and the Tigers need at least 2 base runners to bring the tying run to the plate. There are 2 gone. Ball 1 high and away. Georgia Clark is on deck, 2 outs. LSU to this point for the second consecutive game has been held at 2 runs.
Freshman doing a good job out there. I think the Illini have a good one in her.
Indeed, Lauren Wiles.
From North Carolina.
She was a starter against LSU on Friday. She absorbed the loss, but she pitched very well. And she has been lights out on a bright day in Baton Rouge in relief. She came on in the 5th inning. LSU has virtually nothing against her. LSU led 2-1 after the first inning. The Illini tied it in the middle innings with a run and pushed across 3 in the top of the 8th.
Hits her.
So that extends the game with 2 outs. Tigers need 1 more base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Here's Georgia Clark. And we will have the infielders gathering in the circle. 2 outs. Georgia Clark singled in the first. She flied to the wall in center field in the 3rd and struck out in the 6th. She's 0 for 1 with that strikeout against the reliever Wiles. Last year, a .252 hitter with double-digit home runs and 32 driven home. Here we go. Ball 1. Allie Newland is scheduled to hit next if the game is extended. Ball 2.
Trying to stay away, not let her get extended.
The outfield is very deep and plays Clark to pull by 3 steps. There's a strike. Wiles brought it back just enough. Wiles is the pitcher of record for the Illini in relief. That's off the plate. 3 balls and a strike.
All 3 of those pitches have been the same place.
Clark has been wise in this at-bat at the plate. She has worked it to a 3-1 count by not chasing pitches just off the strike zone. Ball 4. The tying run comes to the plate for the Tigers with 2 outs.
How could this game go any other way? It's been kind of on the edge of your seat.
We'll see if LSU elects to make a change offensively. Madry, the runner at second base. Clark is at first. It's likely we'll have a pinch runner for her, I would think. This has been a game of missed opportunities for both sides, especially LSU early, and some weird stuff late in the game.
Stuff that we haven't even seen. It's like the Tigers are discussing their options.
I think we'll have a pinch runner at first.
But like 1 and 2 batters down.
Hilio is pinch running Madeline Hilio. So she replaces Clark at first.
Catcher number 44, Allie Newland.
So Gilio at first. Newland has 3 home runs in her career. Number 4 would tie the game. She's got a favorable wind.
It just changed because it was blowing so hard in a second ago.
The 1-strike pitch. Way upstairs on that changeup. Madry is the pinch runner at second. Gilio at first.
Wiles showing a few little cracks here.
The 1-1. Low and away.
Trying to, all of a sudden, kind of lost the strike zone a little bit.
The 2-1 pitch. Off the mark. The Illinois infield can't believe it. But it's 3 balls and a strike. Let's look at this pitch, Yvette. Ball or strike? Maybe down just a little.
It's where it crosses the plate.
The 3-1 pitch. Hit to left field. It's deep, and it is caught on the warning track by Stevie Meade. The Illini win it as Newland gave it a ride, but Stevie Meade was able to backtrack and make the play on the warning track.
Fantastic play by Meade.
So that wraps up game 1 today. We'll have the second game between LSU and Central Arkansas in about 30 to 35 minutes. The final score, Illinois 5, LSU 2.